Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday morning, November 14th. I was actually thinking about doing a video for you guys this morning. However, I was not planning on telling you about what happened this morning. So, I I'm not thinking super straight. Partly because I haven't had any coffee this morning and I have been cutting down, but this really threw a loop in everything. So I'm thinking maybe if I just say all of this out loud, it'll help me get my thoughts straight. You all maybe know I like to walk early in the morning. I like to go when it's still dark out. This morning, I did not expect to go for a walk because it was supposed to be pouring down rain all night and all morning and into the afternoon. But when I got up this morning, it was like 50 something degrees out, and according to my weather thing, it said it was not raining. And I was like, well, these days of being able to do that aren't going to last much longer. So I better take the opportunity while I can. I got out, it was kind of spit and rain, but it wasn't bad enough to make me go back inside. And so where I live in apartments, and then there's a neighborhood that is west of me that's homes, very easy to get into, big trees, nice, love walking over there. And so I ended up over there walking, and I was listening to, I'm having a hard time thinking straight. Magnetize Yourself. I was listening to that, and I started hearing some interference come in the headphones, and it continued for a little. I mean, we're talking maybe less than a minute or whatever, because it was noticeable enough that it was messing with my volume or whatever. And I thought maybe I had a commercial or something going on the phone that was going in, whatever. I don't know whatever it was. I pulled my headphones out, or my earbuds out, and the noise got louder. And it was very high and very squeaky. And I turn around, and I turn around, and there are two kids, age 3 and 5, about 3 to 5 feet behind me, walking. This is between 5:30 and 6 o'clock this morning. It was dark out. It was kind of foggy, and again, it was like kind of misty. And I mean, seriously, when I saw them, my first thought is I'm in a dream. I mean, literally, because they are behind me. We are walking north, and I'm like, where the fuck did they come from? And I started asking questions, and it's not even a short story. I can't make it a short story. I asked a lot of questions. I'm like, where do you guys live? And they were like, such and such address. And I'm like, I don't even know what street we were on at that time. Anyway, I asked a lot of questions. I asked, what are you guys doing out here? And the little boy, who was 5, his name was Wyatt, he said a friend told them to sneak out of the house. And I think the one that was with him, I feel like it's a girl, but I didn't catch exactly what her name was. I think I pronounced it wrong. So anyway, here are these 2 little kids, little blonde-headed white kids. They look healthy, in their pajamas, with shoes on, no coat. They didn't have a backpack or anything, so I'm pretty sure they weren't trying to run away from home. I don't know what the fuck they were doing out there. I never really got a good answer to that, where they were going, where they had been. And as we are heading north, their house is north. How did they end up behind me? Because I walked around like a big circle. That's what throws me is, I mean, when I say it's like it felt like I walked into another timeline, into another dimension, because it was like they were just there. But they were heading back to their house. So I don't know if they were in like a yard or what the hell. So so anyway, I was asked, like, trying to ask questions and trying to get him back home. My first initial thought was not to call the police. Just to, like, because I'm thinking, they're just like, they got out and their house is like 2 or 3 houses up or whatever, and I'm just going to escort them back to their house. It ended up being like a 10-minute walk, maybe. When I got to their house, I've been by that house many times. I've walked by it. I've driven by it. And they had snuck out the back door. So I ended up walking them through the gate and watched them go back into the house. And honestly, I just wanted to get the hell out of there because it looked super suspicious. Here I am, a complete stranger with their 2 kids. And I'm like going, what do I do? I'm like, okay, they got home safe and sound. They look okay. I ended up coming back home and I'm sitting here like going, what do I do? Do I call the police? Do I tell them what happened? I felt like I needed to tell somebody what happened. I called a friend of mine. She didn't answer, and I ended up going ahead and calling 911. And I told them, I said, it's not an emergency right now, but I need to let you know what just happened. So I told the emergency operator, he's like, I'm gonna have so-and-so call you. It's probably gonna be a private call. Make sure that you answer it when he calls. And so a police officer called, and I told him, everything that I could remember. And I flat out said in the beginning, I'm like, I am sure that I did not handle this right. I don't have kids. But this is what happened. So I explained everything, and he was on his way over to the house because I kept saying the address wrong to 911. I had 2 of the numbers switched up. But anyway, that was the most bizarre thing to literally, it was like, I swear to God, it felt like I had 2 little fairies following me. And their little voices were like really high, super high. You know how little kids' voices are so much higher? And they were talking. That's what it sounded like when I finally realized it's like a high-pitched fairy sound. And it was a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old that had escaped their house. When we got to the house, and I was like walking them around the back, and I'm thinking, I just want to get the hell out of here before someone sees me and pulls I don't even know what was going through my mind. I watch too much damn TV. Somebody's not going to be happy that I brought these kids home, or they will be, or the kids are going to be in trouble. There were a lot of things going through my head. I guess maybe I was siding on the kids' side going, oh God, they're going to be in big trouble, and they, didn't mean any harm or whatever. I don't know. There was, like I said, there were a lot of things. Maybe I made some bad choices about how I handled this. Just don't judge me. I said something about, because I'm like, do we want to go to the front door? And he's like, no, that's locked. And I'm like, well, how did you guys get out of the house? And we came out the back door, and the fence was open. It was like a big gate. I guess it's more of a gate that led to a parking area in the back, but her, the mom that I've seen driving that was out front. Her SUV was out there, and I have driven by that house enough where I've seen her loading up a bunch of kids in that one day, and someone come running around the back, and I remember thinking in my head, she's got her hands full. Well, based on what happened today, I think that was a correct thought. So anyway, when we got back to the back and I was trying to get him into the house, and the boy went ahead and went in pretty fast, and I think it was the little girl was like, I need to take my shoes off because their shoes were wet or whatever. And I made a comment about, I'm like, something about where your parents, and he goes, the little boy goes, they're not here. And I'm like, well, where are the adults in the house at? And he goes, they're asleep. So that throws me a little bit. Parents apparently not home. I don't know. That's something about that didn't match up. So I told the police officer that, and I'm like, I don't know if they're foster kids or what the deal is. They did look healthy. I tried to get as much information out of them as I could. Probably could have done a better job, but again, haven't had any coffee. I've been trying to cut back. This morning was the morning that I decided I'm like, I'm not going to drink coffee. I might do it when I get to work because I'm trying to widen the gap between so I can like wean myself off. So anyway, that happened this morning. I don't even know what you call that. I found like I said, I don't think they were runaways. They didn't have a backpack or anything. They didn't come super prepared. They didn't have a coat. They at least had their shoes on and they had their pajamas on. So I think they might have just been out for a little adventure and someone gave them an idea of sneaking out of the house. Hey, this will be fun. I hope that the police officer can get whoever the friend was. And I told him, and I was like going, I'm thinking, was it an imaginary friend? And of course, with my woo-woo, la-la stuff that I know, I'm thinking, do we have something supernatural going on here? But I didn't say anything like that to the police officer because nobody would probably believe that. But there were a lot of things going through my head at that time. After I talked to him, he got all of my information, and I was like, please don't share my information, because he was getting ready to go over to the house. I'm like, please don't share my information. They don't need to know this. And he goes, I'm not obligated to do that, so I won't. I was like going, yeah, if there's something shady going on over there, I don't want them knowing where I live. So anyway, that just totally like kind of jacked up everything I had planned for this morning. But I guess there's a reason for everything. And, perhaps something bad was on the way to happen and I prevented that. I don't know. I don't know. There's just, my mind's going to be swimming all day from that. I had a lot of other stuff that I wanted to talk about. I can't really remember what that was at the moment, other than I have been watching all of these nominations that Trump's doing. Man, things are moving fast. I'm just like, I'm amazed. It's just like boom, boom, boom. It's like all he just needed the get go and he was getting going. So that has been super interesting to see how all of that is moving forwards. I did post a thing on Telegram this morning that came up on my channel, and it was about he's going to put interest rate limits on credit cards. Well, that's not the whole story that we were hearing from PG, but dropping it down from 30% down to tapping it out at 10 is going to be helpful for a lot of people until maybe everything else gets in place. I don't know. So for those of you that have credit cards, mine are officially all paid off. I did that, I think, last Friday or a week and a half ago with the last paycheck I got. So I guess it was a week and a half ago because I get paid again tomorrow. So 2 weeks ago. All debt is paid off. Looks like the transmission in the truck is going out. So I went a little bit car shopping. I did 2 test drives on Saturday because I need to just kind of get wrapped around about what's available and everything. So I'm slowly kind of starting that process, because if the transmission is going out and like something's going out with the AC heater, there's some stinky smell when I have that going. So I don't know if it's the electrical going out on it. I don't know what it is. I know it's on its last leg. So it's time to start thinking about getting some new wheels so I don't have to worry about that anymore. I know there's other stuff that has happened. I can't remember what it is. I'm going to get off of here and go to work and get a cup of coffee. I hope you guys have a good day. I wanted to share, like I said, I wanted to do a video for you guys today, but that just cropped up in my face this morning, and I thought I'm going to share that, collect my thoughts, and maybe getting it out of my system will help me quit thinking about it. So anyway, have a good day. Talk to you later. Bye.